Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And if you've been looking at some of my previous videos, I've done a couple on the state of Oklahoma. And recently, one was about two different separate judges. One was a female judge who was presiding over a murder trial of a 2-year-old boy, and while the case was being presented, she was texting her bailiff over 500 times during the murder trial, and she got caught on video and had to resign from not only that particular trial but also being a judge. The one I just did the other day was about another Oklahoma judge who had to leave the bench because he had been having ongoing affairs with at least 5 different women, 3 of them prosecutors and a deputy sheriff. And he ended up not only being removed from the bench, but getting disbarred. Well, I got a teacher straight out of Payne County who was being charged for being drunk on the job the very first day of school last August of 2023, and she went to court here in the last here recently, and she for that charge in August, and she was accused of being drunk in court. So this is how it goes: a former Payne County 3rd grade teacher charged with being drunk on the job is back in jail. This time she's accused of being drunk in court. 3 months after Kimberly Coates, 53, was suspected of drinking in her Payne County classroom, she appeared in court Monday for a hearing stemming from the arrest. Shortly thereafter, Ms. Coates was arrested again in court. In August, body camera footage captured officials with Perkins Public Schools and police confronting Kimberly Coates, who they suspected had been drinking on the job the very first day of school last August 2023. And this is how the interview went. The school administrator, principal, said, "Hey, I was just observing you in the classroom, and it looks like something is off a little bit." He went on to say, "Did you drink something while you were at school?" And despite Ms. Coates' claims of only having one drink, and she said she drank the night before, and then she took some anti-anxiety medicine that morning, they asked her to take a breathalyzer test, and evidence proved otherwise. When she blew into the breathalyzer, she blew a .24. Coates said, then the police said, you blew a .24. Ms. Coates says, "I don't know what that means." The police said, "The legal limit is .08, so you're 3 times the legal limit while you're here at school teaching 3rd graders." Then the school says, "Okay, no more games. What's in your cup?" Miss Coates says, "My juice." The police say, "Do you want to try it again?" They smell it and they said, "No, that is wine." So throughout the video, Ms. Coates is heard slurring her words and appears unsteady on her feet. But despite her arrest and termination from her teaching job as a result of that scenario, the first day of school in August 2023, 3 months later, court records show Ms. Coates arrived at the courthouse drunk again. So she was having an appearance for her first arrest of being drunk at school and being charged with public intoxication. A deputy noted that Ms. Coates was unsteady and weaving. Her speech was slow and slurred, and her eyes were glazed when she entered the building for the courtroom. The deputy also observed her using both the railing and wall to steady herself. Despite obvious signs of intoxication, investigators said Ms. Coates only admitted to having a single alcoholic drink in the morning before she went to court. Ms. Coates was arrested on a complaint of public intoxication again. While in court on Monday, Coates pleaded guilty to the original public intoxication charge from back in August when she got caught drinking at school. And then she changed her mind. It was a misdemeanor crime. And so she got arrested again for being intoxicated in court again. So what basically happened, she had pleaded guilty to public intoxication and was given a 1-year probation, $10 court fine. She had to do a substance abuse evaluation, 16 hours of community service, random drug testing, and no alcohol while on probation. But here's the caveat, or the kicker. They took all of that back, and she also said that she was changing her mind about pleading guilty, but the judge rescinded it anyway because he rearrested her that day because she was drunk in court for that hearing. So she's been arrested twice. She got arrested at her school on the first day, third grade teacher, being 3 times the legal limit, drunk at school, teach all day, third graders. She goes to court 3 months later, and she is drunk in court. And the sheriffs and everybody notices that she is intoxicated. The judge was going to let her plead to 1-year probation. It got rescinded, and then she got rearrested. So now she's been arrested twice and let out on bond, and we're not sure where the case is going now. But this is a complete unadulterated disaster of a teacher that has some form of alcohol addiction. Being a teacher is a very, very, very stressful job to have. That does not mean that I am advocating or in agreement that she should be at school drunk. Absolutely not. She is a leader. She's there to help these children navigate themselves through their early years in life. She's there to teach them. She's there to give parental guidance. She's there to be a mentor. She's even there to be a counselor and to help and be a support system. And there's no way she can do that if she is drunk or intoxicated. Maybe she stayed in the teaching position 1 day too long or 1 year too long. Miss Kimberly Coates is 53 years old from Stillwater, Oklahoma. And maybe education is not the job for her. Addiction is a real issue. I talk about it all the time, that mental illness, the opioid crisis, homelessness, inept public schools are some of the pillars that are destroying our moral and ethical paradigm in America today. Teachers, there's a certain callousness. Teachers are not respected. They're not paid right. Some people view teachers as highly paid babysitters. I don't agree with that. As a third grader, you're catching these kids at the most vital times in their learning and their development. And for her to be intoxicated and to be drunk the very first day of school, what do you think those kids are going to learn throughout that entire year if they had not caught her? And evidently this had to have been going on for a long time because she actually was drinking while she was in the classroom. She had a cup of wine and then she had another closed cup that had something else in it. And she was 3 times the legal limit by 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That creates a very scary and sketchy situation with the volatility of children today coming from single parent homes. There are multiple fights with kids and kids. There's bullying. There's all kinds of things that are taking place. And the last thing that you need is for a teacher or an administrator to not be 100% on their P's and Q's to help these kids be safe at their schools and to help them have a safe and healthy learning environment. And she was violating all of that. So yeah, take a look at this crazy case. This is Miss Kimberly Coates, 53 years old from Stillwater, Oklahoma. This is another situation in Oakland, the state of Oklahoma, where you're having a leader, a teacher that is violating the chasm of learning for these kids by being drunk on the very first day of school, and she ended up getting arrested. This is straight out of Payne County, and tell me what you think. This has been the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth in a righteous, positive direction.